Uh, 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 uh. We are live. We are live. Mm, mm.
Yeah, get live, get turned up,
Right,
or
get
whatever.
turned all the way up. Let me see here. Let me make this public for all of the people to see it so they know that we are live. We are here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me put this
This
on.
is your pre-game party for your pre-birthday party.
Right. What? Oh my
Right?
goodness. A lot of people didn't know that my birthday was actually like my actual birthday was yesterday. So people were like, "Oh my goodness, so is it your birthday Friday? Is your birthday?" I'm like, "Well, my actual birthday is Monday, but who has, a super party on Monday?" Like,
I thought it was. I missed it. Hey,
you
birthday.
missed it. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say anything about the fact that you missed it. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
you totally missed the day.
No, I'll be ashamed. Don't laugh. I deserve at least that.
Facts. It's all right. It's okay. But I do want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna let some people get on here while I share. And if you're on here right now, this is Cocktail and Convo. I'm your girl comedian Stiletto. Share, share, share. Let people know. Start a watch party, whatever it is that you want to do. Or just word of mouth. Let people know Cocktail and Convo every single Tuesday. We come on and we are live at Litty La La La. This is the pregame show to the Stiletto experience this Friday. So that's only a couple days away. If you don't have your tickets, I'm not sure what the hell you're doing with yourself. You need to get your damn tickets, okay? The show is going to sell out. So I need you better hurry up. Don't hit me up when it's sold out. Like, but no, no, no. I didn't gave it to you, told you, come, come, come. Eddie Lyles is on here with us. Hey, Eddie. Hey, Eddie. I've been partying. Listen, I don't know when I started partying, but I ain't stopped yet, and I don't plan on stopping. Okay, I'm gonna be in Baltimore, like I said, Baltimore representing the Stiletto Experience going down this Friday. Get your tickets, Stiletto 40-ish, and that's ish.eventbrite.com, or contact me directly, however you want to do that. Get your tickets. Tickets VIP section is completely sold out, but general admission tickets are still available. Yeah, VIP is completely sold out. And if you happen to be in North Carolina or near North Carolina on Saturday, I will be in North Carolina rocking out down there with my main man Eli Southerner. So make sure if you're in that area that you check me out. And I got a whole bunch of upcoming shows and events. So follow me, Stiletto Funny on Instagram. No, my comedian Stiletto business page got hacked. So if you're on there, just like get off of there. I can't even get on. This is so sad. Like they hacked me. I'm so sad about that. But it's
That's
only
how you know you made it.
right. Like when people just start trying to steal your identity like that. Like, oh, you want to be comedian Slutto? Okay. I mean, at least they did it off stage. Uh,
Yeah, no, nobody ever tries to steal my AOL account. Luckily, I had these CDs right here just in case.
Yo,
Keep my
your
shit
AOL and CDs. You know
secure.
what? Listen, oh my goodness. So we got Eddie is here. Hey, he's here. T, what's up, baby girl? Oh
You
my
was
goodness.
good.
Yes, let me hurry up and get these kids to sleep. Come on, melatonin for everyone. I know that's right, Marcus, because you know we don't know how to act on here. We're very adult and it could go any which way. Especially Mel,
Which way?
80 proof. Last week, I have had so many people. I thought the lemon juice in the eyes with the gagging was your top one. But I think I don't know how many people had a vision of 80 proof rolling down a hill like a snowball.
It's got to be true because mad people hit my phone like, yo, really, yo, like an avalanche. I'm like, son, mind your business. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. Like,
Everybody was
some people
they was
dream of climbing to the top of the mountain. All of us dream of rolling back down that motherfucker. I mean, I'm sorry, my bad.
oh, I had this discussion with people. I was like, they were like, he did not say that he would suck. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then he's rolling down a hill. I have an image. And it was hilarious. You left people with such an image going on. 80 proof has been on fire these last few weeks. Mm.
Each and every week, Hey, look, all that I'm gonna be saying is you got to dream it to achieve it. And if I had a chance, this would be my last show. So I'm gonna say, like, I fuck with y'all, I love y'all, but this will
Hey
be it.
yo.
Signing off. Signing off.
Oh my goodness. Look, oh my goodness. Corey is trying to let you know, Marcus, how many milligrams that you need to give them so that you can be safe with putting your children to sleep. Hey,
Damn.
yo. You're
Is that
right.
how far we are removed from reading them a story and giving them a warm cup of milk? Just drug them. Just
No,
drug
just
them.
drug them. Fuck the story. They need to go to bed a little bit faster. I think that's when it changes when you become a grandparent, though. Like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm a grandparent. Like, stay up, talk to me. Like, we can play. We can play. I love it. I love the fact that I'm a grandmother. Like, I don't care what nobody says. I don't. 80 proof. Are you loving? Are you? Do you like it?
Being a granddad is all right. And then my boy get all turned up because, I like to make a lot of noise and a lot of actions. You know what I'm saying? I be all over the place. And
Yes.
then I leave. Or then I hang up.
Exactly.
Then I hang up.
Yes.
Bye bye, man. And then I'm gone. And then you had to deal with that. You had to deal with that wildness and all of that. Yeah, that's really what it's all about. I kind of, yeah, that's probably the better way to go. If I can get to be a granddad without being, you know, that kind of
Yeah.
works out.
Yeah, I think it. I think it's cool. Like really, I do. I mean, even let's talk about kids though. Let's just jump right into our topics. Like we're not even gonna play with it. We're not even gonna play with it right now. Did the beatings that we got growing up, or that the beatings that you know of, okay, did beating kids help or did it hurt us? Did it help us or did it hurt us? And I keep catching a glimmer of my nails. Big ups to Nails by Charmy. Thank you, girl, for always keeping me fly. And I'm sorry, I had to shout out my boo. But yes, did
Mm.
beatings help or hurt us?
I think that probably in my case, they probably helped to a certain extent.
Hmm.
At the same time, I do think that making it more of a last ditch motivational tool, I
Hmm.
think has helped in my parenting. Because I found the benefit of making sure to constantly discuss so that I don't have to take it to that level. And I also think that it depends on what you beat your kids for. I see people beating their kids for all types of shit. Like your kid, all they wanted was some cookies. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, really, no, really. That's how I mean, I get not asking, but people beat their kids for lots and lots of reasons. And I think that if you don't have a way to communicate with your kid outside of beating them,
Hmm.
then it ain't your kids that need to beating.
Well, well, I think that's some powerful stuff right there. T is agreeing with us with being a grandparent. She is just loving it. She runs through the house and does not care. Love it. Listen, I mean, but as a grandparent, like think about it. As a grandparent, though, I don't hand out a lot of spankings, beatings, pops. Like I you kind of get away with everything. Like I'm a softie. I'd be like, don't do that no more. I might, change the tone of my voice, but I'm not. You're too cute to hit. Like, I don't know. I don't know if my kids were ever too cute to hit. I don't know. I think the kids needs a little bit of discipline in that region nowadays. It seems like things are completely out of control. I think we just did a whole overcorrecting of a situation. You know what I mean? Like you said, some people are beating their kids for being a kid, doing kid stuff. You know what I
Young
mean?
kids.
And some people were abusing you know what I mean? And some people will say, I mean, I can think of a couple ass whippings that I got that definitely probably are right there with abuse of some sort. But did I die though? You know what I'm saying? Am I a
Right.
respectful person now because of it? And I can even see the difference in my children that I have to, like I'm like, yo, I'm a little more lenient in that area. And I'm like, and sometimes they jump out there in a way that I would never jump. I would never even fathom. And I'm like, I don't know if that was because of the ass whooping that I knew I would get if I did. Was it the fear or was it just a different time in life? You know what I mean? Like they have access to a lot of things that we didn't too. So I don't know.
Plus, plus, I had a lot of I had a lot of older cousins. It's all boys in my family. So I
Uh-huh.
had a lot of older males, and so if I was maybe doing something or they didn't, they would come and talk to me. It was other outlets that wasn't just my parents. And I'll say for the most part, I very rarely have ever had to discipline or raise my voice. I've never cursed at my kids, zero. So I mean, I can talk to them and be able to get my point across by explaining the reason why it's necessary. And I think that a lot of times when you was getting those whoopings, that sometimes the focus was the whooping and maybe not what the whooping was for or the lesson it should have brought afterwards.
Mm. Okay.
I didn't get too many beatings growing up. My mother cursed my ass out, and it did me good because now I curse my kids out. There you go, T. You know what I'm
So
saying?
right. But is that now you curse your kids? Is that should we be cursing the kids out? Is that bad to curse your kids out?
My mom always cursed. I'm not gonna say whether or not it's bad or not. I'm not cussing me out, but
Mm.
would curse. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I just felt like in order for me to not tempt my kid to do things that adults do, then
Hmm.
maybe I shouldn't do them around them.
All right. I don't know. I mean, I listen, I curse and I grew up like my dad was a cursor. Like curse words were like verbs and adjectives and nouns. They not necessarily cursing at you, but in his whole sentence, there's a curse word or five or 10. Okay, that's just the
Right.
way he was. Now, my mom, on the other hand, by her being an English teacher, she's all about her vocabulary, and she's gonna try to vocabulary word you to death to show you her thesaurus that she has of words that she can I can say different things. So I don't know. Cursing doesn't
That's me.
necessarily I don't like people curse their kids out completely. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I don't like that. I'm not really big into that. I'm not judging anybody for what they do. But I'm just saying it's not the thing for me, and I don't particularly like saying it. Corey is saying I think it helped in our generation, but now the kids are too soft. Think that they're grown ups like their parents. I have to agree with you in a certain kind of way. Yes, they do. They feel like they could talk and walk and they just I know just as much as you. It's almost like there's not even a difference sometimes depending on who you talk to and what households you're looking at. The parents want to be friends more so than disciplinary, role models and all that good stuff. What is T saying here? But on a serious note, I didn't get beatings and disciplined my children as needed. Okay. But I am stern with my kids. So they don't play with me. All right. They don't
Oh,
play with
we
her.
know we didn't play with you on the show, T. So I can totally believe that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
We don't even play with you on the show, except for
You know what I
Montreal.
think? What I think is yeah, right, except for 1-5, but he plays with all of us. What I think is almost worse than beatings is the parents who cuss and threaten. Like, don't make me
Mm,
fuck you up. I'm gonna whoop you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't sit up there and say I will choke you to death. Don't make all these ridiculous promises that
right.
you know that you're not gonna. And I think that that's another thing too that just gets out of hand. I mean, I've seen people say the most craziest things to their
Mm-hmm.
kids, and it's like, even if your kid was an adult, you wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? That wouldn't fly.
Right.
Ultimately, your kids are little people. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, to me, that's just important to think about. Like, your kids are little people too. Just because they're little doesn't mean that you can just take them for granted because they don't have certain rights due to the
Mm-hmm.
government. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that's another thing too. I'm gonna say this too, real quick. Is if you are kind of lonely or you don't have a lot of friends,
Mm-hmm.
that's what happens. I mean, I have been out in public and have heard a mom discuss with sons that were younger than my sons
Mm-hmm.
and talk about business, and that's why they so phony. And the son respond back, "Yeah, she. That's the thing with grandma. She get like that sometimes." And you can't sit there and discuss grown folks' kids and then talk trash about your aunts and your grandmas and all that stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
think that too, there should be not you have friends, then there's a grown folks place. And
Right.
if your kids is your friends, then you blur those lines.
You do. What is this comment, Mel? This might be more for you, as I know that your mom, your dad, like everybody is on that side, on that realm of Christianity, and this is definitely something from uh, the biblical sense, the Bible.
Yeah. My dad would volunteer to beat other people's kids. You want me to take You
Man of
want to take them
rod,
back there?
spoil the child. What does that mean? Mel, what so we're saying don't be if you don't if you spoil the kid, what
If you
how
don't, right, if you spare the rod, you will spoil the child. Meaning that if you don't beat them, you know what I'm saying. You don't you like a fruit. You'll make them rotten. So you have to beat in discipline. However you do it, it doesn't have to be necessarily with a rod. If the rod
mhm
could be, in this case, it could be the Bible. It could be
mhm
your experience. It could be, certain things. My rod is experience. I tell my son all the time, we live in a house, but we live across even projects. You know what I'm
mhm
saying? Like, look outside. There's your rod right motherfucking there. So, but
right.
that's basically what it means, though.
Okay. So I mean, I because we did talk about that before, like a kid that has too much stuff. Are we ruining that child? Like I know that as as much as I can try to have my kids have and do and move in ways that I could only have wished growing up. You know what I mean? But sometimes I feel like, matter of fact, let's talk about this week alone, okay? I feel as though I am not stern enough. I just go ahead and do it myself. And maybe I should hand out more ass whoopings around here because especially and I think that this comes from especially when you're a female and you may be a single parent and you're dealing with young men, little boys, you know what I mean, because it gets to a point where they're either taller than you, bigger than you, and they just want to try their boundaries, just like Mel, you were talking about with your son. Very rarely do you have to put your hands on them. I've noticed that a lot of fathers that are in a child's life, especially a little boy, um they don't have to put their hands on them. Like if they're really being a father in their life, just look at them a certain way, say something a certain way. And I'm not saying that women are not able to do this. I'm just saying that maybe I feel like I'm just a little bit more lenient than I need to be. Like there are plenty of males that I have in my life that will say, you better wake his ass up. You better get him to do like, and it's not in a mean way, but look, they're gonna grow up and be men one day, and you need to prepare them. This is what men do, and
That's absolutely right.
but I don't think I've handed out enough ass whoopings. That's what I feel, and I think that now that they're a little bit bigger, it's almost like now we got to square up. I don't know.
Well, not
You're gonna just
Well, I'm
take the.
not gonna say maybe not ass whoopings, but maybe more repercussions. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm,
think so many times we give them the power to part one and the part two. Not me. Y'all know I love the part two. So if you give me an opportunity, let me tell you, I will rip cords off the wall. I don't give a fuck. I bought it. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Like I will take the TV, open the window, and fling it. Like I bought the shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Nothing is guaranteed but the meal and the roof. So like don't threaten me with a good time because the shit will be gone.
mhm.
But I think that another thing too we have to take into consideration is that when you have young men and you're grooming young men, you should expect the buck because they're bucking for leadership, just like you would like a lion's cub. So if you're breeding young men, you got to expect it. And so sometimes, as if fathers or if some guys, all men are men. Some guys sit down when they pee. When those guys sit down when they pee and they get a strong son, they themselves can't handle it. They got as a
Is that
buck,
a
but it's
bad
good.
thing for a man to sit down and pee?
I mean, ideally, you want to stand up, but you know what I'm saying. I myself stand up. You know what I'm saying. But some men are a little more, tight jean wearing. You know what I'm saying. So I think that if that's the case, you do run into those problems. But like you should expect it. You should welcome it because you are bringing in a young man who is ready to fight, who's ready to get it started, and so
What
you
if
got to groom that energy in the right way.
that is very interesting. 80 proof. Like you just put me on to something I wasn't even ready for. Because that's true. Like you would, it doesn't seem very, if you want to say masculine, very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. And I'm sorry if anybody's offended by the fact that I use the word masculine. You have to be politically correct, but this is Cocktail and
Right.
Convo, and we'll do what we want to do. But you do have to expect that buck back. And you should expect it. I mean, there's a level of respect with it, and there's
Right.
levels to everything. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like, I don't know if you people can handle that. People in the comments talk to me. Are you okay? Can you respect that your son has that fighter in him? Like, you know what I mean? To buck back and not take it as, oh, you're challenging, so to speak, challenging me to the point where I feel as though I need to go harder. Because I've seen, especially I've seen young women. go harder with boys that they have, like punching them in their chest and like really having to get and feel like they have to get real gutter with them because they'll swell up on you. I used to tell my
But
son all the time, you better hold it. You better hold it. Like you can
but think
swell
about how
up.
many sons you know, how many sons you know tried their fathers. Was
Mm.
it, you know what I'm saying? Like we just like bears, we just like tigers and lions. Ain't no difference between us. You know what I'm saying? If we think that we have a chance to run that house, we gonna fucking take it. So if you absent out of the place of the home and you want to come back after 14 years and get back with the mother and you gotta say so, nah, you got a whole challenge though, because the young cub has been running things in there. So that's what happens. So that's what the difference is
Mm.
you gotta make sure that you know what I'm saying. Like my mane is fully blown, so no cub is running up in here taking nothing. But
Mhm.
I respect the fact that they would. It's the
This is
least
it.
you can do. You know
Guys,
what I'm
talk
saying?
to me. I don't know. Like that's very interesting. That is, I am like sitting here like very intrigued by this conversation because I'm like, I've never even looked at it in that way. Because of course you're trying to raise that young man to be the man of his
Man,
house, king of his castle, things like that. So how can you expect to do that and not get and you know what I mean? And they not show and demonstrate characteristics of such. You know what I mean? You almost and are we trying to beat that out of them? You know what I
some of
mean?
the things we try to put into our, especially I'm gonna say again, to our sons is the things we don't like about the fathers, not the things we like about men. So the father might be one thing, but you know for a fact that you like a strong-minded male. You know you like an independent male. Raise him as such. Don't just
Mm,
be like, don't be like your father and not take the trash out. Don't be like your father, leave the socks in the. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bitch, chill out. Your father work every day. You know what I'm saying? Certain things
mm.
that you can instill that ain't gotta be nothing but complaints. You know, he ain't gotta be this nigga, but he can be the nigga if you ain't afraid of one.
Okay, well, and look, Uncle Pete is saying, thank you, Uncle Pete, for saying happy birthday. I so appreciate it. Uncle Pete is saying, hell no, first we're going to talk, and I'm gonna give you some way to hold the rope. Just don't, get your big head, don't get big headed with it. Um, yeah, Derek is saying true. All boys will try you. Mel, I think this one is for you.
You're not bucking back at me, or you will be picking your teeth up off the floor. I command respect from everyone. You know what I'm saying? I got you. At the same time, you should be able to respect the fact that you got the challenge, and as such, set them back down. Don't just
Mm,
sit there and be like, "My name is." Now, some people like everybody might be named Michael. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that this is what my place is, and if you're willing to buck it, it might have been something that they saw a little weakness, or a little something
ooh,
that somebody from the outside might have told them. Certain
mm,
things got to be established, and that's the difference between establishing your house and establishing your home. That's a major difference.
He put the finger up at y'all. Imagine your home.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey yo, I mean that does. I don't. Okay, everybody. Look, I want him to be the leader of for his family, right? So you want your kids to be, you want them to be the leader, and it's like, but so are we? So are the beatings helping? Like, does that stem back from slavery? Are we beating like that because of what we've had, generation after generation, like handed down to us? Is that why we feel as though that's it may not be the only way you communicate, but some people, even when comedy, people will say black people beat their children, white people do this. You know what I mean? Hispanics do that. Like it's never just so
But
it's seen outside of
is it a
discipline.
class thing though? Do you think it's a class thing?
Mm, a
Like,
class.
can you imagine like Jay Rice beating his kids compared to his kids beating him? You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan, you know that nigga was getting beaten. His dad looked like he was beating him in North Carolina. But do you think that he was beating his kids?
uh, I don't know. That's very interesting. That is something to think. Mel, you got me thinking all night. I've been drinking and I'm thinking this is a lot. This is a lot. That may be the case because I'm like, are they going home and beating their children? Like
Because I mean,
because.
again, a lot of people that's out there, if y'all know poor people that aren't just black people, and if
Mm-hmm,
you know, I mean, y'all been in Arbutus, Walmart, y'all been out in the county somewhere.
mm-hmm.
There's not a difference. You know what I'm saying? If you think that you don't see kids getting beat with Spanish switches, I don't know where y'all be at. I see people of all nationalities.
on us now.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
saying
But
it
one thing that's pretty much common to in my opinion, is
right.
lower class.
Because and some people will say it's because of the stress level. Stress will make you lash out on the people that are closest to you. Uncle Peter is saying he'll give him a shot at the title, but he better not fuck it up. For holding up, you gotta hold the belt. You gotta do it. You have to do it. um Transport is saying that's why I don't have that problem. Okay. Beating not good. I guess he's saying I told that to my son, but at times I look at him and it's not your turn. It's not. Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay. Um. Hey, y'all.
Like, what's
Hey.
good, bro?
Class doesn't mean anything because Adrian Peterson he whooped the ass. Okay, he whooping his kids' asses. So
Yeah, but he also whooped his money's ass too. I mean, he was playing ball and was still broke. But I mean, I get what your point though.
I mean, I guess you're saying like he's saying like Adrian Peterson he did it and he's considered to
Yeah,
have a little
that's
cash.
cool. Yeah, I just need an example to tell you the truth. I mean, yeah, I mean anybody will do.
Also, we could give examples of people that are in the lower bracket of things that don't beat their children either. So I mean, there's always an exception to the rule. There's never all of anything, but you know.
I
Does
mean, and
stress?
I think
I mean,
too
I've
is
known people that stress is really like I've known some people that have been put in a situation, a spouse passed away, things, money gets backed up. Like you're agitated more, you're not sleeping like that, you're not eating right. You know what I mean? Money's not coming in. Those things can agitate it. I mean, in an adult situation, in a relationship with another adult, you will start having possibly more arguments, more disagreement, just a level of irritation. So, um,
and two is and I think the job too. I think beat you. I think that the job too is that everybody who has a kid doesn't necessarily want the job. I seen a mom the other day and it was raining and the baby was crying and it was in a stroller and it didn't cover the baby's ankles or feet. And come to find out the baby ain't have on no socks, no shoes, or no pants. You understand what I'm saying? And it's February. So I think that if you can't do the job or the job that you're in, it becomes very stressful. And it
mhm.
doesn't matter if you get hired to fucking be a doctor and you only fry fries, your first surgery is going to be very stressful. So I think that it's the same
But I mean, you're
exact thing.
only a parent one, especially if you're a new parent. You're a parent one time, and I mean, there's no real guideline, no book for it. Like people can read all the books in the world, but you can never be prepared for what's getting ready to happen to your life, to how things work, things like that. And I mean, I get it. I I don't know. I don't know. I understand it, but I still think that there's a lot to do. You could be a parent and you could have been a parent. Like I said, I know my attitude changed when I went through my divorce and I had 3 kids and I went through this divorce and now I'm by myself and now everything's on my shoulder. Like my whole mood changed, my attitude changed, things of that nature until I got like you said, until I got the gist of things. It was a bit rocky, a bit rough. I might lash out there, ask you something. I'm like, go sit down somewhere. What are you doing? And they didn't even do anything. It's just BG&E is on my line. You know what I mean? And the lights are getting ready to get cut off, and you're asking me about a fucking green crayon, and it's not fair
Hmm.
to you. And just like Corey is saying, my wife lashes out at me because I am the closest to her. But usually, that's kind of what she does. I mean, a lot of people have done that. They'll lash out at the person that's the closest to you. I mean, adult, child. It doesn't. You know what I mean?
You
That's
know
just
what?
kind
The thing about it is that I'm too selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate apologizing.
of. Hmm.
So I don't never lash out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be like, my bad. I didn't mean to call you a bitch. Like I hate having to come back when I knew I was right at the time. But
Mm,
because I went too far in that one moment, I
right.
gotta cash my chips in. Like I'm just too selfish for that. My bad, y'all.
Lies. They have books. Laugh out loud. Okay, they do have books on parenting. I'm not saying that they don't have books on parenting. I am saying that regardless of what you read, you could like I could be prepared for my first child and it not none of that happened that way. You know what I
How
mean? I
about
can be prepared for birth and none of it happened that way. Like, sir.
So they have books on parenting, but they don't have no books on your kid. That's the part I always thought it was so funny. Now you can tell me how to be a parent, assuming that my kid is going to be in that book, because if not, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not the same fucking thing.
Right. And that's what T is saying. There's no manual on raising kids. Each kid is different. So you got to raise them, with your natural, whatever you think is naturally them. That's true. I'm just saying it's about self. Okay. I got you, Mike. I got you. Mel, can you read that one for us, please?
It's like it's like in management. You have to deal with people as individuals and not as one group. We all have different personalities, so we need to act accordingly, and that's exactly true. And I think that that's the same exact thing with kids. If your first son was a model citizen and the next one is more work, then the next one is just more work. Me and my brothers, I have two younger brothers. We are totally different in every single way. So it would have been ridiculous for my parents to try to raise them like me because they're not like me. And if my parents raised me like them, I would have killed myself years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that my parents raised each child individually in some, like I said, I mean, just depend on what order you're in. A lot of the times you're the youngest, you get, they tend to be a little bit more spoiled. Like you think that things should be handed to you. But that used to be where you could tell the difference between the oldest child and the youngest child and things like that. I don't know if you could do that anymore. I think a lot of this new generation feels as though they should have everything handed to them with the least amount of work. Like, what are you saying? They don't like no pressure, too much pressure on them. They crack. Like, it's like, oh, I've got anxiety. I've got this. And I'm quite sure that we all suffer from anxiety and depression and some other shit, but we just had to, eat it up, suck it up. I don't know. Let me say, listen, let me say that the stress rises with 3 girls and 2 boys. I have to keep my head right to get the job done. And that's true.
Facts.
You do have to keep your head right to get the job done. Okay, nurturing is what you meant. I got you, baby girl. B Ricks in the building. Hello, B Ricks. How are you? Reading helps. Okay, it does. It does. It helps. But the
And
books
but
don't.
I mean, and another thing, and I'm gonna just say, fine. I'm gonna say, take the time out to know your kids. Like if you don't know your kids, everybody's not gonna be the
Maybe I
athlete.
think that's
Everybody's not gonna be
I think it's
mother of the brothers. Everybody ain't gonna be a Queen Ray, you know what I'm saying? Everybody not gonna be there. So take the time out to get to know the kids, and then you'll have a better time. And that comes with time. You gotta want to take time to do things other than beat them.
right. So Queen Ray, welcome to the cocktail and convo party. Yes.
Ow!
Right. This is the pregame to the birthday extravaganza this
Oh my
Friday.
gosh, it's gonna
Yes.
be
Make some
noise.
Yes,
noise, noise,
there
noise.
it is. So
Let,
welcome
let,
to the
let, let,
party.
let.
So we're talking about the beatings or do beatings. Are they helpful? Do they help us or do they hurt us? Beating your kid, you growing up getting your ass whooped or getting beat, did that help or did that hurt? And do you think that that's how did it help or hurt when you with your children going? Yeah, hey, that's what we're talking about.
um, it can, but it's like to me, it's steps. Like I don't think you just go right to the beating. The beating
Mhm.
is more like a extended punishment kind of thing. Um, and it also depends on the person. Like some people are just not mentally healthy
Mhm.
and should not be putting their hands on anybody because of the fact that yeah, you're only doing it because you're off and it's not really because you're disciplining your child.
Right. And I agree with that. That right there that's deep though. A lot of people don't take that into consideration. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like I dealt with my co-parenting with a bipolar parent. And
Yeah.
like it would just be like go from 0 to 100
Real
over
quick.
like you ate the last sausage and everybody gets beat with an extension cord. Like, whoa,
Damn.
how did we get here? How did we go from here to here? So that does make a big difference. Corey is saying there's a difference when there is a dad in the house. Okay, I got you. I see what you're saying there. I'm gonna go ahead and nobody cry. Okay, nobody sees when dads cry. Oh, Uncle Pete,
Dad's don't cry.
dads don't cry. Mel,
Yeah,
proof. What do you mean dads don't
like
cry?
like a thug.
You know what
Dads
I'm
cry.
saying?
Dads cry.
Listen.
They
Dad,
cry in a different way.
dad's shoulders. That's what dad's shoulders is for. That's why his back is supposed to ache. You know what I'm saying? You push all your tears down your back. That's why he's always complaining about his back hurting. Ah, my back. No, he's just
Is
crying.
that my fault?
That's really
Is
what he's
that
doing.
really? I think that me becoming a single parent, no wonder my back hurts. I think I've been pushing the tears and the
Y'all
pain
crazy.
on my back. Can we read this comment from T, please? Somebody read the
We
comment.
shield our kids from a lot as opposed to raising them like our parents did us. We stayed
Right,
outside, and kids nowadays don't know what going to the playground is. And that's
right.
because of the fact that rather than a baseball, we search for a Wi-Fi signal.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Kids are
Okay.
definitely soft. They are definitely soft now. There's so many kids that could never last through like an hour of what we did.
But is that because we're not disciplining? And let's go away from beating, because did we not discipline? Are we not disciplining them and preparing them for like consequences? You know what I mean? Because if you know what consequences are, then you don't break as easily. Like I look at my son, my 13-year-old, and I'm like, you have no idea what the world is going to do for to you, possibly. And that is my fault as a parent because I shield you from I don't want you to feel like Mel said, I don't want the Wi-Fi to go down. You shouldn't have to suffer it. Oh, let me make sure this is hot for you. Let me make sure your bed is, you know what I mean? Like I'm always shielding him from things that, unfortunately, like you lose the game. This is what happens. Sometimes you win some, you lose some. But everybody, or you're not the MVP, but everybody gets a trophy now. You know what I mean? It used to be that real players that did what they did and achieved above others got a trophy and you got a certificate that you participated. And now everybody gets a trophy. So it's like we're shielding them from the realization of the fact that not everybody gets a Grammy. Not everybody
Right,
can be a rapper. Not everybody can be a basketball player. Like it just doesn't happen that way.
right.
Let's see here. Transport is saying it helped me because my mom whooped my ass and I deserved it. But I tell you what, before I did something stupid, I thought about that
Oh, you
ass
thought
whooping,
about it,
not
right?
the conversation we had. Now I will say that I have to agree. Listen, my mom, my grandmother would beat the bottoms of your feet and would tell you, I'm beating the bottom of your feet. So every time you take a step, you can think about what you did wrong. And that, that shit stuck. Because as you're walking, you're like, shit, and you thought
Right,
about it. Even if you did it again, you thought about those consequences. Like, because kids now they do shit and then they get locked up and they go, now you're crying in jail because you
right,
never thought that you would go to jail. Like, how dare you? And it's almost like a privilege thing. Like, how dare you put me in jail for me doing some bad shit? I
right.
don't know. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, these
It's
parents nowadays,
desensitized.
these parents
Go ahead.
nowadays will rather just give everybody. They will have rather have all the kids in their class get A's. They won't do anything that makes it easier for them to have to be a parent. Like they don't want to have to say, "Hey, look, maybe before you fucking dribble the ball out of bounds 11 times, you know what I'm saying? Once you stop fucking sucking, stop putting two hands on a basketball. They don't want to do that. That takes more time out of them Facebooking and TikToking and finding out what the hell somebody else who they'll never meet in the entire world has going on. Other than taking the time out with your kid and say, you don't have to suck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because basically, keep this in mind. If your kids suck, you suck. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, there's a reason why your kids suck is you suck. So you know what I'm saying?
You don't
Then you
have
want to
to
beat
suck.
them because
Lord.
you can't invite none of your friends to the recital. No, no, it's your fucking fault. So I think that that's a major part of it.
I can't. I'm so
Yeah, it's a combination between the sensitive world that we're in and then the mindset of we were raised to we want to give our kids better than what we have or things like
sorry.
that. It's
What?
it's it but it's the combination because now the world makes it like especially well this country makes it hard as hell for you to discipline because they tell your kids basically that they have the power to get you in trouble.
Mm. Facts.
So they're telling them, oh, well, if someone hits you or hurts you, you can call 911. We couldn't even touch the phone
But
at
we still
some of
had
the
that
ages.
same rule, though. We knew it was
I
consequences
No,
called
to it,
my
though.
aunt.
no,
I
You
called
there's
my
would,
aunt
people.
one.
The minute
you
you
would,
would touch somebody's the phone,
right, but there was a consequence. You knew that you could touch it, but
there's
you know
consequences
it's
now, but
wrong.
they make the kids feel like they have the
Right.
right.
True.
It's
Yep.
like,
Because of
okay,
the
well, you
fact
can
that the
have that
kids.
right. People are scared to throw their kids out the house. Like,
Right.
the
They
fear
don't.
of being thrown out the house.
Listen, there is no participation trophies in the world. Okay, them ass whoopings, they stayed with you for life. Okay,
But see,
the
but the
few
thing about
people
it
that I
is,
taught me not to do it again. Sucky
but the,
parents. I mean, 1 second. Sucky parents. That ass beating grows with you as you grow. Okay, I mean that's some real shit. You come into this world poor, but you don't have to be broke when you leave. Okay,
facts.
Uncle Pete, I got you. I see what you did there. We're in a
I'm gonna
society
say,
that
Pete,
tells your
we
kids to
got
call
too
the
stuck
police.
on the
Huh?
wrong trophies. We got too stuck on the wrong trophies. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your kid didn't win or they didn't do that, you had to show them what they did win. You know what I'm saying? You was able. If it's a football team and your kid's team was 0-11, you had to show them what they did do. So it's a lot of what's called resiliency and getting up every Saturday and Tuesday for practice and learning to be on the team and learning to play football and learning those other things. That's where the trophies were. So that when you didn't
Right.
do well, your parents showed you the trophies that you was missing out on when you was feeling sorry for yourself. That's what the difference is. These people they're not interested in being parents. Okay, you struck out 0 for 9 today. Well, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Don't hit the showers. Look, let's figure out what happened. Maybe you need glasses. No. That nobody's interested in that. So again, you know what I'm saying? You can get your trophies, you can get your roses, you can give all of that, but stop expecting other people to do your job for you. Give them what they need. There's not every situation. There's a winner and a loser. Stop trying to train your kids as something else. You walk past people every single day. You went to school with people every in your whole life that was winners and losers. That's what it is. There's no other options. Left,
Mm-hmm.
right, on, off, win, loss. That's it. What the game is to teach your kids how to rebound and to learn from their losses. That's where the
Mm-hmm.
fucking trophies coming at. And if your parents don't know, they don't have a way to teach it.
I know that's right. So like T said, yeah, kids, yeah, they're telling kids like Queen said, listen, if you discipline me, I'll call the police. Transport is saying you call the police on me, you're gonna go live with them. No one is going to tell me how to discipline my kids. The crazy part about it is, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this before we move into the topic to the next topic. But oh my goodness, even with like Queen was saying, you couldn't touch that phone. And I never forget the day that I thought about touching the phone and calling, and my brother saying to me, they will take us away. Like, do you really want to not be with mommy? Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, no, I don't not want to be with my. I just don't want to fuck and stuff like this. But you know what I mean? Like it was but it was that's the difference where that balance comes into play. Where are you a good parent, but your kid kind of somewhere understands that, I don't hate you. I'm not just beating you to beat you. This is you did something wrong, and so you just have to play that balance and figure out what works for you. But let's talk about World War III. Let's talk about World War III that everybody is talking about. This is going to be a world war. If you've not been watching the news, social media, whatever it looks like, whatever outlet you have, Ukraine, Russia has invaded. It seems they're blowing up things and things are going haywire, and
Blowing
they're
up.
trying to get everyone out of the country except for the browner of the people is what they're showing us everywhere. That they're letting the Ukrainians that are that yeah peach people or lighter complected people are being allowed on trains and buses and things, and the darker complected people are not being allowed. When I talked to a friend of mine in regards to this, they said but the people that they're not allowing are Africans. They're
Mhm.
Africans, And why should I give a damn about these Africans when I'm a Black American or African American and I'm not an African? Just like any other time that I tried to say I'm from Africa, an African will tell me, no, you're
You're
not.
not from
You're
Africa.
not African. You're Black. You're American. You're whatever. And they don't even own it. So why should I give a shit? But people, a lot of African Americans or and Black Americans or whatever you want to be called are saying that they're upset seeing these people of color not being allowed on the trains.
Yeah.
Some are saying, hey, it's a lot of you. Why don't you all just bum rush the fucking train and the buses and things like that? You're the numbers. And it almost like makes you look at America though. Our numbers may be this, but the fear level for whatever reason is still there because the numbers you outnumber in certain situations, but you'll still stay compliant to whatever they're saying. No, you can't get on the train. It's three of y'all and it's 300 of us. What do you guys think about that? This whole, well, they're African, they're not Black. I'm gonna start with Queen. What do you think?
I mean, I do know a lot of Africans that are like that, which is crazy to me sometimes because I'm like, if you want to differentiate that, then why are you in America? But
Mm-mm.
it is what it is. Um, it just all it doesn't matter in the eyes of someone else who's not brown. The fact that we're brown, you think that they're going to filter out, oh, you're African, no, you're African American, no, you're Black in their eyes, and they're not going to differentiate that. I mean, this is a time where we, regardless of whatever it is, brown skin needs to come together and not worry about African or African American. But the the whole thing about like none of our business. It's just hard not to. America has been trained that we are like we gotta help. We gotta step in. A lot of times, the reason that we're doing that is because there's something in there. A lot of our resources is not from America. So there's something in there, whether it be gas or labor or something. There's something in there where we're benefiting from, to where we feel like we might need to get involved. In this case, I don't think, I mean, I think there might be an issue as far as gas, but anything else like that, or maybe just the nuclear weapons, but everything else is like, it's not as big as like some other things have been where we felt we had to automatically step in.
Right.
Um,
It might
and I
even be
think
ally.
that's where it's coming from. You
It
said
might
what?
even be an ally situation. You know what I mean? Because you want to keep your friends closer type of situation. It could be, I mean, I think it's of course some type of fossil fuel or some type of
Yeah,
benefit that
there's some
we're getting.
resource or
There's
something
some
that.
resource that we're getting. But I also think it's that ally because if we do go to war with so and so, you want to make sure, yo, you with me? You know what I mean? I helped you when you needed you we together because we can't
Mhm.
fight it by ourselves type situation. Um Somebody is saying they agree with you. But transport is also saying, hey, tell those arrogant Africans to bob and weave them those missiles. Hey, yo.
Ooh,
I
that's
just say,
crazy.
and I mean, even though when I see the brown images, immediately I'm upset. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
because
When
it
I
takes
see
us
the
back
images of
to
people, I'm
that
not
takes us back.
differentiating between African American. I'm just saying brown folks being pushed away. But then I do think to myself, once I start hearing them speak of things like that, I'm like, you know how many times that I've heard, like Queen was saying, like here in the States, somebody say, oh, they're Black, I'm African, and like really want to make a distinction between the two. And I think of Jay-Z and his song Still Nigga. You know what I mean? Light skin, dark skin, brown skin, it doesn't matter. Still nigga. Because at the end of the day, just like when people say, oh, you're light skin, they're gonna treat you this way, or you're dark skin. At the end of the day, still nigga. You know what I mean? If push comes down to shove and it becomes a race war, nobody's gonna say, talk to me real quick. What accent do you have? Are you a
Right.
British black? Are you an African black? You're all they're gonna know is your skin is dark. It's gonna be some Dominicans getting fucked up. It's gonna be some West
Right.
Indians. Because guess what? At the end of the day, that skin complexion is what they're going after. You're darker than I. You don't have blonde hair, blue eyes, whatever that looks like, whatever that ratio is. And it's just like, damn, like I feel for them. I do, but because I'm a human. And I think as
Yeah.
any type of human being, you don't want to see suffering of any other human being. But when I'm sitting there and I hear that you want to, you can't pick and choose when you want to play with us and when you don't.
Right. Right.
And that's where the
And I for damn sure don't want them misdirecting their missiles this way because we want to be nosy or all up in the Kool-Aid and it ain't even our flavor.
right.
Like,
And a lot of people are saying it's not our issue and it's not our thing. And like Queen, you did touch on a couple of things. We don't know what agreements our country has made with another country. We don't know what resources really truly they're getting. There's something there, just like any other time, just like when in Africa, when they're fighting, and there's been fighting and civil wars going on for decades and then some. It doesn't matter to America because they don't have anything invested in it. Kill all the Ghana, kill everybody. It don't matter. It seems sad, but guess what? We ain't got nothing to do with that. Russia is very close, and I think because Russia has always been somebody that's like, hey, America, we're coming for you in some kind of way. I think anytime Russia does anything to anybody, America wants to be like, don't play with them. We got their back, and hoping that they'll be an ally. War sees no color. Sees no color. Really?
but there's numbers too because
Yeah,
isn't Russia like ridiculously bigger than
I don't. I mean, they have a lot of resources. We have a lot of resources, and they also have a lot of allies, and we have a lot of allies. So I think Russia is one of those countries where it's like they're like right there, back to
Mm,
back with us when it comes to a lot of different things.
mm,
Um. So yeah, I'm not black. I'm OJ. Exactly. Now everybody
right.
wants to be fucking OJ. There will not be a race war. Okay. All right. I hear you, Uncle Pete. Okay. It's all
Oh,
about pipelines and oil. Mel, talk to us. 80
well, I
proof.
mean, I do agree that there is. I mean, of course, there's minimal minerals and oil in Russia, and Ukraine does have resources, but it's as simple as this: you can't decide. I mean, America can't decide anytime they want to just go and crush Cuba. We can decide whenever we want to just go and invade Canada. That's what the difference is. It's about the country being its own sovereign nation, and as such, having a right to defend itself from Russia. So the issue is that the there is an interest in keeping an ally close to where Russia is, being Ukraine, but it's still, you know what I'm saying, it's still its own private nation. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to set a precedent for a stronger nation being able to take over another nation just because it's weaker. Because what will happen is if Ukraine today, it'll be China and Taiwan tomorrow. So, and they can continue to build from there and build from there. America is engaged in regarding to giving them supplies and military equipment, but not soldiers. And the reason why is because of the fact that they're not a part of any particular agreement in regards to receiving armed forces like military from us. But those other countries that's around there are in that same treaty. So that's the reason why they have it. And I just think the main thing about Russia is the fact that you just got to draw a line. You can't just decide to have a country decide to take it over. I mean, whether it's a state, whether it's whatever, you just can't have that. And Russia's military power is similar to ours, so there's mad respect given to Putin. But in regards to reasoning and resolve, that's where the differences come off. In regards to the black people and the Africans that are there, I mean, okay, y'all spent a long time saying that you weren't black, but all y'all getting treated like Rosa Parks. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It just happens. You wouldn't treat me like that. If there's a fucking war going on, either you shoot me there or you shoot me on the other side. Like, I'm not going to sit there and walk to the back of the line. I think that a lot of the Africans that are there, most of them, I think it's like 16,000 are college students or college grads or what have you. Then they got the warning last week to get out of there like everybody else did.
Yeah.
Everybody, my issue is the coverage. The coverage on the news. If you watch the news, on the media, the global news, it portrays the Ukrainians as if they were from some sort of ancient angelic city. And these countries like Afghanistan and like Iraq, they talk about them being third world nations, or them being constantly at war. Ukraine's been in war for years. They were part of the USSR, and they talk about these people being white and being Christian. That's my issues with the coverage. My issue with the coverage of the media is the whitewashing, as if the people in Afghanistan's lives are any less in value to those that's in Ukraine.
Okay, I mean, there's a lot to that. There's definitely a lot going on with that situation. I just wanted to get some coverage on it. Thank y'all so much for talking about it. Made me
Any
feel
and
some
anything they use any reason to make gas go up. You know what I'm saying? It was it
back.
went from being China to being spring to being Memorial Day. Like yo,
Right.
I
So
mean, we just gonna have to accept the fact that our emotions regarding gas is on a yo-yo.
right. That's a fact. That is a definite fact. Shit, we got mask mandates that are now gone for Baltimore County, Harford County, a couple different counties. Like schools, I just got a text message. Hey, no longer you could choose to wear the mask or not wear the mask. A lot of people are like, "Well, I'm gonna wear my mask anyway." Where are you with that, Queen? You wearing your mask? You're not wearing your mask?
Um, I'm wearing it in certain places.
Okay.
I mean, because I've this whole pandemic, thank God, like I haven't gotten sick or anything, but I've also my body's I guess kind of used to elements because I'm outside a lot. I'm a delivery woman, so I feel
I hear
like
that.
people
Delivery
are going
woman.
to.
Hey now. Hey now.
Delivery woman.
I got your package. Like I'm just like,
Yeah, I'll take a delivery. I'll sign for that. I will sign for that.
So, but yeah, I still like because initially, anyways, at least starting off, I'm still going to slightly like places I don't really know the people, things like that.
Mm-mm.
Extremely crowded places where I don't know the people, things like that. I'm still going to at least keep it with me, and
Right.
you're close.
Right.
Let me pull my mask up because I feel like they're going to try to use that against us. And they're going to be like, well, people wild out. Nobody had a mask, and
Right.
or like it's going to be one person that gets sick, and it's like, oh, we got to do mask again. So I think
Right.
I'm going to ease my way into it. It actually is going to be awkward, I think, initially because we're so used to doing it. Like I went somewhere today, and like the people that worked in the establishment still were wearing their masks,
Mm-hmm.
but like the people that weren't, were coming in didn't have it on, and it was so weird to me. In my mind, I'm like, "Where's your mask?"
Right. 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 I mean, it
And
is
there's
because
some people that like day one, like March 1st, they
yeah,
could not wait, and
yeah,
and you dare you say something to them about a
about
mandate.
it. Yes.
The mandate's over.
Right.
Oh,
And that's the thing. And like the establishment that I work at, like it's a bar. So like I for me, they gave you the option of doing it, but you're talking to so many different people and in so many different people's spaces and things like that. So I keep the mask on me when I'm standing away from people. I pull it down. I, breathe, do it to the raw air. You know what I
right.
mean? But then when I'm in your face, I'm more like, yeah, because we're too close. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
trust it. I'm still not completely trustworthy of this
right.
situation. I don't know vaccinated or not vaccinated, all that good stuff. I'm not sure, but do whatever you feel is comfortable. Mel, are you what? A proof wearing the mask? No wearing the mask? What you think about mask mandates going away?
I don't
What's
even now that it's optional. I don't even know how I ever got along without one. Like I'd be in certain stores and I'd be like, "Yo, I am not. I wish I had on another mask. Like maybe I'm certain situation. I mean, I was in a store and nobody had a mask on, and the dude turned around, and I thought he was an extra from Space Jam. Dude was totally fucked up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I think it just depends on where you are. I like the ability, especially now when people taking them off, as being the
uh-huh.
only fat ninja walking around here. I like the fat ninja look, so I do like to keep my mask on. You know what I'm
Fat
saying?
ninja
The
look.
fat ninja.
Yes,
Look. I hate
You know
you.
I'm
what I'm
here
I
for
am
saying?
that.
done. I'm dead. Yo, somebody said, listen, more white people crying about no mask.
Yes, the
Yeah,
Karens.
they're the ones that are truly fucked. I'm not going to say a particular rate, but I will say, I don't know, the mask does make me feel safer in certain environments. Like,
Yeah.
when you feel dirty, like when it feels like the air could possibly be dirty, it's like it feels good to put on the mask and not offend people with it because everybody knows the COVID is going on. There have
Plus,
been certain places and certain people that I've stood next to, and I'm like, you know what? They're just gonna slide this bad boy on up.
Just a little bit.
They just go because yeah, and
plus,
I've done.
it gives you a chance to get in your high horse. Like I had my mask on, and then like before I take my mask off, I'll go extra, put some hand sanitizer on my hands. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And
right,
I'll go the whole 9 yards. Like, oh, you're just in here just eating with raw forks, ill. So I'll go
right.
the whole entire 9 yards just for the chance to do it.
Just to do it. I love it. I think it is the new bougie. I really do. I
The
think
new
masks are going to be the new bougie. Like, instead of
I don't.
clenching your purse,
Yeah.
instead of when you see somebody, and they say you see a black man and you hold your purse real tight, now you get to be the one to be like, oh, let me put this up
Like,
because they,
uh. Oh,
like,
that's you. Oh, that's you, bitch. Oh,
oh,
that's you, bitch.
right.
Bitch.
no. Ah,
You see.
all crazy. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Masks have made you want to get your eye makeup game together, okay? I'm just
Plus,
saying.
you know what? One thing about the mask is that it allows me to say things under my breath, and either people think that somebody else said it, or nobody
I,
knows who said it.
I
So, and I
love it.
say lots of things all the
Oh
time, like "Come on,
Lord.
bitch!" Like I said the other day, "Come on, bitch!"
You're a ventriloquist.
I can't.
And the
You're a
person look,
ventriloquist.
they
You be
look
looking
right
like,
past me. They never thought that I said it. They look right past me, and I'm like, yeah, them motherfuckers is crazy.
they do. I do love a mask to hide my facial expression. Like I do, because sometimes it's like seriously, but you can still see it in my eyes. So
Mom say you roll your eyes.
right. Uncle Pete says he wants us all to be very safe and be healthy and he cares about us. Transport is saying mass help not so attractive people. It did help not so attractive people. And it is still helping not so attractive people with
Hilarious.
rough people that are not attractive. It's been doing a lot for the whole economy and the world and the state of the union.
Plus, if you like me and you don't like talking to strangers, like
Facts.
this perfect. It is just fucking perfect. Forget sunglasses, forget the trench coat with the high collar. Just give me a mask, give me my hood, and we are good.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking to me about anything.
Nobody's talking to you, and you don't even
Right.
you look intimidating. Listen, there was a billionaire that offered Serena Williams and LeBron James $1 billion
To
to
have a
breed
baby.
a baby.
That would be a hell of a baby.
Right. And that's a lot of people would say, oh my goodness, that's so racist. And I was like, is it because he's a white billionaire? Had he been a black billionaire and offered that same option, would we be saying it's racist? Or would, like what Queen said, think about the kind of baby possibility
We
that
think
you can
about
have
that though.
with that
This is
gene pool.
our world is so fucking sensitive. Like they make a problem out of everything. That literally is probably just somebody's regular thought. And that
So,
because
but
that person
you look
literally
at
has the money to do it.
But
Or
slavery, think back to slavery where they used to take the strongest male slave and the strongest female slave and put them together, make them have sex, and breed what they felt as though were the strong little Negro babies.
okay,
I mean,
but the
sometimes
person
it's
has
an honor just to
money
be
for it to
nominated.
be happening and not to make them do it, but to have it. I understand that, but it's sensitivity. It's like, yes, okay, that's what it was. But if someone is just mentally thinking, oh, that would be like the mega baby, like a baby.
I mean, just think about it. Have you not had?
I thought of that. Do you not look at somebody and be like that? I've had guys tell me, "Yo, I would have a baby with you. My baby would be an athlete."
just by
So
looking?
First
just
of
by
all, Queen,
you
I told you that. I told you that in confidence. You know what I'm saying? That was something I thought we should try. So I don't think
look,
that was
you,
silly. But
you
Hey,
snitching on
yo,
yourself. You snitching on yourself.
at the
I'm just
same time, I think that this is a situation where it's an honor to just be nominated. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
nobody is saying to me like I would like for you and you know what I'm saying, somebody else to make a baby. I think I'll be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Well thank you. I appreciate that you thought that my seed would carry on. Like I mean, I get the racist part of it, but at the same time, like don't tell me me and Alicia Keys gonna make a good baby. Like don't threaten me with a good time. You feel me? Like he went all out. He gave LeBron Serena Williams. He could have easily said Venus. Like she got some Wimbledons, but that nigga gave him proper billing. So I mean, I'm just simply saying, like, don't threaten me with a good time. I'm all about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's an honor
I
just to be nominated.
I do not. I don't like you very much. This nigga said me and Alicia Keys to make a good bit. I mean, I looked at it and I was like, I could see it from both ways. You know what I mean? Like that's just a thought. Like that would be like the ultimate athlete baby or whatever the case may be. I get it. You know what I mean? But I also see where it's the thing that a lot of people are saying, and the thing that I see, how many white athletes or any other nationality athlete are you looking at and saying, hey, if I put them two together, they would make an ultimate baby? But then I'm like, I mean, we are pretty great. So then I'm like, well, I
And
mean,
white people have been bullying each other for years, and
it's
and,
like
and they haven't got
I
anything.
think
put
they
Justin
getting with us to
Timberlake
have melanated
and
babies,
Celine
and
Dion
because
together
they
and make
don't.
a singing baby. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't put Barbara Streisand.
But that's the thing, is that it's physical. So literally, biology,
Mhm.
science. You put A and B together, you're going to
That's
get
not
F.
true though, because you have
Right.
people like two people get together and they're very maybe physically look this way and their children don't look like your gene pool gets pulled from generations that you don't even know about. So you're taking that risk. You are, but I do get what you're saying. You looking at somebody, I've done it, looking and be like, he probably made some pretty babies. You know what I mean? But it's like, is that animalistic? Is that our animal side of us that we think about breeding? You know what I mean? Like, what
But
would that breed
we
look
are. We're
like? I mean, I don't know. So I
we're
just
just
was like, I thought it was
highly.
very interesting. And I wouldn't want, I don't think that would be a very nice, that would be a very, I don't think that baby would be that good on the eyes. It may be a strong little
Oh,
athlete.
yeah, I mean,
But
but that's
God
the thing.
damn,
We're
I
thinking of just
physically
the an
here.
athlete,
Does
right?
the face even matter to people anymore? I feel like the face has lost its value. Ass, you got your ass shots, and you got booties, you got titties, you got this, you got the athletic body, you got this kind of. What happened to having a night? Do people not care about the face of a person anymore?
To a degree,
Yes.
I think people still.
No, to
You,
the
my
highest
thing is
degree.
that you don't have to be. You don't have to be the worldly beautiful. You have to be beautiful to that person.
But I've seen some
Well,
Especially
very not beautiful. I'm sure to someone they were beautiful. Like
right. That's what I'm
I'm sure
saying. So that's
Yoda,
how people still get
somebody,
together.
somebody Yoda is beautiful at some point or whatever.
let me tell you
But
something.
Baby Yoda.
like Baby Yoda is cute as shit. But like Yoda would it be like this in the Instagram, like butt out. You know your face. I know you're everybody. There's somebody for everybody. But I'm just saying, even when we talk about, like I talk about Lizzo all the time, and I talk about the confidence level that she's given those BBWs and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with being confident in yourself. But have we as a world turned a blind eye? Is it almost like what we're saying about kids? Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody's not pretty. Everybody's not cute. Everybody's not
And you
ugly.
That's
And
where
and you
somebody's
know
personality
that you're
comes
not.
in.
everybody's personality is not, great. And we just
So
accept the fact that you might not just be that person. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the face
this is
matters anymore.
where this is where it does. This is what matters more than that is your friends. Your friends trick you. You know what I'm saying? Like you know that if y'all go to the fair and your friend could go through the employee entrance, that person might not be that cute. Keep it real with them. I myself, and I'm just being real, I don't like to see people who are hard on the eyes. It throws me off. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with me because I like to have my day eased. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking forward to have any optical struggles. You know what I mean? But that's me. I like to be
Optical
around people
struggles.
who are a little more pleasing to the eye.
But like
And
Queen is saying, what's pleasing to you may be not pleasing to somebody else, or maybe pleasing
that's
to someone
exactly
else.
right. So if I boo whenever you come around, just know that you aren't pleasing to my eye. That's the point that I'm making.
Hey yo. I'm just saying, does the face even matter anymore? Like, I mean,
Yes.
I've seen several people that are not the most attractive. With makeup, they might be, a 6. Without makeup, they might be a 2, but they have a banging body. Or the man has a great body. From the neck down, he's beautiful. From the neck up, it's like, who are you? Does your head even belong to your body? But people don't seem to care. It's all about
I
body right
think
now.
I think that
Bodies versus face. I think we should
I
do like
think
a
that's
some shit. Body versus face.
I think that the body thing is not for people who are into. It's not a relationship thing. I've banged nice bodies, but I wouldn't. I mean, you think I'm gonna take a chance at waking up to you and getting a nosebleed? No, bitch, I ain't doing both. So
But that's
I totally agree with. I think that that's what the difference is. I think that like I don't just have somebody want to be physical with you. The body is good enough. But if you think that there's a chance I'm gonna look you eye to eye or see you on a late
right.
night or be out in public or people will be like, yo, that's who you I'm too shallow for that. I'm already fat. I got enough challenges as is. I need all the help that I can get. So you know what I'm saying? That's just where I'm at with it.
Right. I'm just saying because back in the day, people would say, "Oh, she's a big girl, but she's pretty." Pretty girls, I mean, she's a big girl, but her face is pretty. Now it's like it just seems like it's all about body, less about the actual face, and like Queen said, shit, even less about the personality. But I mean, if you don't want, even we're not talking to the person, you're just looking at the person. I don't know. I agree with transport. It starts with the face for me. If your face
Yeah.
is not right, no matter how sexy the man's body is, I can't see past your face. Like you can have a banging body, but if you're not attractive in my eyes, I'll pass. I'll go ahead. I'll pass. Uncle Pete said, "What about the mind and the soul?" Uncle Pete,
Yeah.
you're right.
Minding
You
my
get
business.
get to that after you see the person from the outside and decide what you want to do. So listen, it was a question that was asked that I saw on social media that said, I mean, I think it was I want to say it was Sierra and Russell were talking, and he was giving advice. He was like, he said, "Hey, you have to ask yourself, would you marry you?"
Yeah, that
And
was
I
him.
thought that shit was so deep. Would you marry you? Then I dug a little deeper into it, and I saw that this question had been asked numerous times to different groups of people. And so they were like, "Would you marry you?" And all the men, like literally 98% of the men, and that's probably 99.8, said yes, they would marry themselves, right? But when it came to the women, like they said it just like that. As soon as the question was asked, they replied. When it came to women, women thought about it for a second,
Right.
and they also said, yes, I would marry myself. Some women said no. Some women said maybe. Women were more unsure or needed that time to think about would they would marry themselves or not. Is it now, Queen? I'm gonna throw this to you. Is it that you think that women, as women, we are sitting there like, well, would I, like thinking of really all of our pros and cons, and men are kind of so arrogant and cocky with it, they think with their dick, and they're like, yeah, yeah, shit, I would marry me, no matter how much of a scumbag they are. They're so in that realm of like I'm the greatest type situation. Or is it that women, we're just so like critical of ourselves, or we know ourselves, or we're just that bad?
It goes to the men are physical and women are emotional. Mentally, we think about it to a further extent than men. Now,
How
if
dare
it was
you?
like, if it's a maybe a, you go to like let's say there's a therapy group or something where
Mm-hmm.
everybody's there to mentally go through like the steps, something like that, then you might find it more even. But
Mm-hmm.
just off the break, off the street, talking to us like a random, hey, how about this question? Like off the mic, off the brain, most guys are going to be think more to the physical than actually really thinking about.
Them as a
Then
person.
we're really going to think like, oh shit, well, Charles did leave me because I wowed his life out. Like we're gonna think about it a little more in depth
More
than
in
a
depth.
guy
Like
initially. I
really,
think a
would
guy
you?
would really, but like I said, it had to be where it's like we're all open to like really talk about something. It's in the environment that like this is being discussed.
Okay.
Off the break, I don't.
Mhm.
I could see how guys would be more superficial than females because we naturally go to think to the thinking process as opposed to what we think just as how we look like. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I'm cute. Any nigga would marry me. No,
Uh-huh.
we be like, okay, so last relationship that was my fault. So now
Fact,
we can
right?
not say everything out loud,
That's a hard thing to
but we're
do,
gonna
though.
think about it a little,
Right.
a little deeper than a guy initially off the break.
Uh-huh.
I
Right.
think if you go in deeper, like a guy may think about it deeper, but
Mhm.
off the break, women are going to be a little harsher on themselves or a little more critical or think deeper than a guy will.
Okay. You married you married to yourself. Every moment that you get up and you wash your face and look at yourself. Okay, Uncle Pete, I hear you. The best person to marry is yourself. I mean, okay, I hear you. I mean, Mel, 80 proof, talk to me. What you think?
So I hadn't thought about the physical part of it, you know what I'm saying? But what I will say is that I personally
Ah,
love me. I love
oh
me
my God.
so much.
Not
Oh,
you.
oh, 80
Really?
proof. I never get enough of 80 proof. I love me. I would even marry myself and then cheat on myself with myself. That's how much I love my motherfucking self. It would be an absolute outrageous me, myself, and Jamel Minaj a situation. So I forget the physical part. I just love me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a bad guy. I like to have a good time. I like to drink. You know what I'm saying? I don't be do too much complaining. Feed me and fuck me. I am perfect
This
with
is what
those two
somebody
things for
else is
myself.
saying.
Yeah,
They
I
put in
couldn't.
the comments, men don't ask for much. Good head, cook food, and we're not really, really.
But I mean,
I
you
think
know, like
I think y'all see that. Yeah, I
a
think y'all
comedian
think
once
y'all
said,
have that.
you got to be in tune with your star player. And I am all the way in tune with my star player. That is me. And I love, oh God, let me turn my camera off. Give me a second. Uh, oh God, oh God. Oh, I just love me so much. My bad. Are we still
Hey,
on? Are we still
yo.
on? My fault. Sorry.
You.
Woo.
Oh my
He
goodness.
turned
Sorry.
the camera off though. Oh God, oh God.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
My bad.
oh
I
yeah.
will I will say this. I love me some me. And would I marry me? Yes, I would marry me in a heartbeat. And anybody that ever didn't marry me, that's your fucking loss. Okay, first and foremost. That's how I
Facts.
feel about that. But I think that women do think a little bit more. We're very critical of self more so than men. Men are very confident a lot of the time. I'm not saying you don't have insecurities, but I think that that's what the big deal is. But that is, I think, a very important question you should ask yourself. Period. Just would you date yourself? Would you, if you didn't know you, would you like you? I think sometimes self evaluation is so important. Just like Queen said, what did I do in the last relationship to ruin it? You know what I mean? Don't always blame the other person, point the other finger. Just remember three fingers to point.
Accountability.
So I don't know. Look, proof is about to roll down the hill.
Yo, you already know. You already know. Are you kidding?
Hey yo, I'm married
I
by
love me some me.
right.
Another me will never
I think
do.
you should definitely love yourself. I don't know. I just think that's a very hard pill to swallow. Like, really marry yourself. A lot of the times, there's things about you that you don't like in another person that are just like you. So you really need to probably think about that. I actually heard this the other day. I was talking, and I heard a guy say, you know why so many women to men, like it's the women to men ratio is so high, like there's so many women and so little men, and that's because men are supposed to have more than one woman.
So he clearly doesn't know science.
So men are supposed to have more than one woman. So even though there's one man to every seven women, it should the reason that is that way is because men are supposed to have more than one wife. more than one wife, and a lot of different religious texts, it's going to tell you that a man can have multiple wives, and in certain, religious books and things of that nature, it says that a woman, that, I mean, adultery is a sin, right? You're not married to that person, you're having intercourse with the person, whatever sexual relations, that's a sin. But if you're married to that person, then it's not a sin. So that is why men can have multiple wives and women can't.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so and
So
look at Queen is over it. Queen is like, fuck
right.
this
Well,
shit. He doesn't know math. What's going on?
let me
But
rephrase it another way for Women's Month. I think that for Women's Month, I think that it shouldn't be. I think there should be alphas should be allowed to have more betas because as some men that can't handle the woman that they're with. So I mean, because we have to keep in mind that our historical texts were historically written by men. So if we want to adjust it for today, I think that if we were to say that more alphas, the alphas could have more betas. This way it's all inclusive. I think that most people would agree to that because of the fact that how else would you get more than one partner without there being alpha and mini betas?
okay. Now I'm gonna read some of these comments. Ciao. Okay, that is why they offer samplers at most restaurants. Variety.
Facts.
Okay. I remember when you get married, you put you get married, you marry the lady, you put a ring, and the ring goes around her finger, but not around the dick. The dick does not have a ring.
I would take a bedazzled cock ring. Just for the record, I would take a
What's
bedazzled
going
cock ring.
on here? Okay, Queen, you are looking mighty pissed off over there.
I'm not pissed. I'm just like, I don't know. Like that's I do what I always say. I'm a numbers girl, and I like the whole ins and outs of science. It's
Right.
much easier to do XX chromosome than XY. It's just naturally, it's easier to make a girl than a boy.
It's easier to make a girl than a boy. So that is why there are more girls than boys. So, I
I
mean, Queen,
mean, maybe. And my family, still as it's all boys. I
right.
got like 11 all male cousins and one girl cousin. But at the same time, I think that when we think about it, we do think of it as, I think that we think of it as more of a physical thing. But you know what I'm saying? Each woman is uniquely different, and each woman has her own unique nag. So I think that that's what will kind of keep us from being like, I don't really need more than one blab in my ear at a time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to have three or four reminding me what I didn't do, and by the way, can use. Like, nah, no, I don't need no more by the ways. Or if
Ah,
you get a chance,
no more, by the
you know what I'm
way.
saying?
It
Like,
was a quick.
that's what I think we. I think that that's what we forget.
I just had a whole thing where I was looking at a thing on YouTube, and the girl comes up to the guy. She's like, "Hey, we need to talk?" And he's like, "Okay, cool, but before we talk, tell me what you want to eat." And she got stuck, and she was like, "I don't know what I want to eat." And totally, he said, "So when you know what you want to eat, we can talk." And it was like, so they didn't talk for like weeks because she was like, "I don't know what I want to eat." Like he was like, "No, when you can tell me
He
what you
threw her
want,
off.
then we can talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. Just tell me what you want to eat." And I'm like sitting there like that seems so simple, but I was like, I don't know what I want to eat either. It was like, and then my son was like, "Y'all women never know what y'all want to eat." And he's 21 years old. I'm like, how do you, what do you talk? I know what I want to eat. He's like, "Mom, what do you want to eat?" I was like, that is not the point. We need to focus on this conversation we're having right the goddamn now. But I just thought that was funny and I wanted to
I mean,
share
I really don't care who or how many you have in your bedroom. It's whatever your preference is, what you like, and if everybody can get along. So if you
that.
want
Oh,
to
that's
have
right.
unseen wives, if them unseen wives allow you to have them and be around each other, then
Who
by
they
all
have.
means have unseen wives.
Oh, I
I do
understand
not
that.
like care about society, how what they try to put on us as far as what we like. That's why there's so many people out here doing what the fuck they want to do and having what they want to have. There's people who have both. There's people who have the same, and there's people who like monogamy. That's it. You find out what
But
you
do
like.
people
You
really like
find the people.
monogamy? Who the hell really likes monogamy?
I mean, honestly, if I'm married or something,
No, 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 no,
I
no, no,
want,
no.
I
No,
want one
queen.
person.
No, queen. You can't say when I'm married. Monogamy, just period.
Yeah,
Monogamy.
and
Who
maybe
likes
it's just the age I'm at. I don't
right
know. I'm fine with one person. Like
forever?
I'm not looking for. Yeah,
It
Why
says
you looking
women are
at
the
it?
stronger ones, while a woman will sit back and not say a word and look. Us men go up, go, what's up with you? You not talking, and the women smiling the whole time. Maybe smiling. Maybe.
smiling. Mm.
Yeah, I think smiling was what you mean. Queen, well said. I mean,
I think
listen.
it's just the fantasy of being able to wake up in the bed with like three or four women. I mean, the wake up almost makes it worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like to
But
wake
that's
up in
not
the
the
morning.
thing is they're not all together. See the ones that like well that I know of that like they really are like a working unit like the family.
Mhm.
You do not. Everybody's not sleeping in the same bed together. The women have their own rooms. The men have to be able to provide for these women.
Right, you
So
got
you
three
already
women
got
to
to have a
take
certain kind
care
of
of.
pocket to have to provide for the women and the children that you have.
Right.
So it's not just like,
I would just take it on
I'm just
multiple
gonna be
women.
fucking all of them. No.
Right,
This
right.
is you have to be able to establish and maintain their lifestyles.
And that's a
Hell
lot of
yeah.
times people forget about when it comes to when they
They
try
just
to
go right
bring
to the
out
sex.
biblical texts or things like that. Like you have to be able to take care of these wives, not just have
All
a
the
girl over
same.
here, girl over there, and she got kids over here, and you lying to both of them. No, everybody knows. I'm your wife. This is my husband. I'm your wife. Everybody knows about everybody, and everybody there's an agreement of some sort. So
They
it
raise each
actually
other's
is a
kids
lot harder
together because those are
than
brothers and
people,
sisters.
right, that want to give it to. Like when you look at it, like, oh, it's not just you sticking your dick just in multiple people. No, this is actual
Right.
commitment to more than one person. Which think about it, just like 80 proof. Look, you just said, I mean, Queen, listen, you're like, I want one man. Imagine having to please multiple men. Like men say they're simple, but y'all are the simplest
Yo,
complex motherfuckers
simple as
ever.
babies.
Right. You got to do and babyfy each individual
Wham. I'm a
person.
baby. Sorry.
I,
I'm just
I mean, you really have to, even though y'all are simple, y'all are individuals still. So if you have multiples, you have to make sure that each one is taken care of in their own realm, whatever the hell that looks like. So just think about that the next time. We're not talking about you trying to be a player or cheater or whatever the case may be. We're talking about, hey, I'm actually going to have. What do you mean that's bullshit? It's not bullshit. Men are not that simple.
I
Y'all
lived
are
in
not that simple. Y'all are not that simple. If y'all were that simple, then you wouldn't have women just walking away from you, leave you. Like you're not that simple. You're simply complex, depending on who you are, depending on who want to deal with you, depending on what that looks like.
I used to work with a woman who was there, like, and her husband was like somewhere else, and some like Iran or something. I don't know, somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And she was wife number 3. She
Mm-hmm.
broke all this shit down to me. Like,
Mm.
wife number 1 is the main bitch. Like,
Mm.
she's the hierarchy. Like, she was the
Uh-huh.
first one. She's the chosen one. Whatever. The
Mm-hmm.
rest of them,
Right.
they all have kids. Sometimes one of them is like the one that
That
is
takes
taking
care of
care of
kids.
the kids. The other ones help clean or maintain the house. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a
It's a
role,
company. It's a empire. It is an organization.
and
It
you
is
all work
run.
together. And God forbid, don't let like wife number 1 not really like wife number 3 or 4.
Hmm. It's hell to pay.
So
That's what
yeah,
I'm
because
talking about. That's right.
it's a lot. So
Preach it,
it's like,
queen. Preach it, queen. That's
Like
exactly the kind of shit I'm on.
right. I always tell people my dad has 3 wives, has always had 3 wives, period, point blank. They all live in the same house. Instead of buying them rings, he bought them houses. So if you ever want to walk away from this situation, you do not walk away empty handed. If you don't want to be here no more, you have somewhere to live. You
yeah.
have somewhere to go. I don't want you to be hostage to the situation because of finances and things
Mhm.
like that. But he say, listen, you can have as many women as you can take care of. And what taking care of means I'm providing everything from
Oh, right.
me and the kids. If I cannot do that for one, then I need not to pick up another one.
Right.
Period.
Hell
Like it
yeah.
just doesn't make sense. But to each his own. I don't know. I just thought that was very ironic that somebody said, "Hey, there's so many women out here and there's so little men." That's because men are
Hey,
supposed to have
let
all
me
the.
ask you a question. If you beat your wife and your other wives join in, is that domestic violence? Like how does that really work? You know what I'm saying? Like if your wives bank your
Join
wife
in
for you?
beating her or join in beating you?
No. I mean, don't threaten me with a good time. I wish they all would join in. But I'm talking about if I don't
Like if
like
you,
you and I want
uh-huh.
to get my other two wives to smack you up because you decided to put crease in my
Yeah.
sweatpants. So I
Hey,
think that, you know what I'm saying? Is that considered domestic violence? How does that work?
yes, that was. I mean, that would still be considered assault of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I mean, I
maybe
don't
it's
know.
just maybe it's called team shaping. You
Spirit.
know what I'm saying? You got to strengthen
Yo,
your
I hate.
weakest player.
Yo, I hate
That
you.
is a hostile environment.
But that's good that you say that. That's good that you say that, 80 proof, because you take us into the grown zone. Grown zone. So if you have children or people that are sensitive to adult or conversation, then you might want to put them to bed. And if they have silver teeth and they're young, I'm sorry. If they're old, I'm even sorrier. But
Actually, this
listen,
would be a good time to whip your kids right now. This would be a perfect time to whoop them.
yo, I hate you. Melatonin is what they were saying. 10 grams or milligrams or something of that nature. I don't know what the formula is.
A
But
good
is
old
it
binky teeny.
right? If you beat them, they'll sleep. They'll cry themselves to sleep. Yo, is it okay to slut your man out in the bedroom? Like slut him out. Like, and I got this question. What do you mean slut him out? Slut him out. Come from behind, grab him by his throat. You know what I mean? Like push his head down there, make him do things that you want him to do. Queen, slut him out. Like treat him like a hoe smut. Is that
It's
okay?
okay if he's a willing participant.
Uh, That takes all the fun out of it. It's like, no.
No,
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean like he's not gonna cry or bitch about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
If he cries a bitch,
SMS
just give it to him
type
harder.
stuff or whatever. Like there's people out there, like there's women, they don't necessarily go around being like, oh, choke me, but in the bedroom, you
Right,
do it. She's not fighting you on it,
right,
So when I say willing participant, I just mean like they're not going to fight you on, or there's a level of allowing you to do it.
right. I mean, I
That's
think it's
really just
okay.
being dominant in the
I think
bedroom.
you
They're
should
letting you be
slut
dominant.
more men out. I think more men need to be slutted out. And somebody said, "Hey, heterosexual men don't get slutted out." You're fucking lying. Smut these motherfuckers out because listen, you need. And I agree with somebody that said it's called training. Yes, it is. It's called fucking training. You need to show. Listen, I'm not dominant. I might not be the dominant one outside of this bedroom, but right now I'm in control. I'm in charge. Take it and shut the fuck up and let's have a good time. If you cry, did you die though? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I feel. Like I think to shake things up sometimes, just like 80 proof was talking about. Sometimes the buck is okay, and I think in this situation you need to just hop. Listen, this you can be passive right now. It's gonna be fun, so be passive and smut him out, and don't hold no bars. Don't hold no bars. Choke the shit out of him. Make him wish he could breathe. You know what I mean? Push his head down there, hold him down there until his feet start to go like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. That's what I think should happen. A little smutting ain't never hurt nobody.
Yeah, I
That's all.
don't think it's a bad thing as long as they ain't calling the cops on you. You're all right.
Call the police,
If
and I'm gonna
he,
tell the police.
if
I'm gonna show you what I was doing to this nigga before you got here. Get on all fours, bitch. Lean back on the bed, eat this butt. That's what I'm doing. I'm showing them why you being a little pussy about it.
Are you guys out there in Cocktail and Convo land
you know
taking
what?
notes?
Yes.
You
You know
guys
what?
taking
That's
notes on this young
that's
lady? Because
exactly what you do.
if you, the thoughts and
Right?
ideas of Stiletto Cash Smith are not the thoughts and ideas.
Yo, Why are you gonna say if you choke me, I might have a flashback and knock your dumb ass out? And if you
Damn.
choke me, but
See,
did
and
I
that's
die though? But
those
did
are
I
things you need to
die?
know. Did I
But
die?
did I die though? Something about that. I don't know. Maybe it's my domestic violence background
You know what I'm
that
saying?
makes that might be a little
These
fun.
are
Ain't
this the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem with all you face kissers. You know what I'm saying? You all want too much. I don't need a lot of respect. I don't need no respect at all. Can you stop respecting me? You understand what I'm saying? The most fun
right.
I've ever had was with a shark. You understand what I'm saying? Rip your pants off, grab you by the balls, push you forward, all types of shit. Tell you, nigga, you ain't going nowhere. Tell your friends downstairs they gotta wait. This ass is mine. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you can't show me dominance, then that's why you get cheated on. You know what I'm saying? You have got to own shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why motherfuckers that's the difference between renting and mortgages. You know what I mean? That's why motherfuckers who get dominated, who get fucking treated the way that they want to get fucking treated. You own your shit. So don't if it's yours, yo, knock me out and then go get the fucking ice pack. Cause we finishing. We not going nowhere.
Right.
So
I think you
it's
do.
the least
The
you can do.
ice pack.
It's the least you can do. You want to sit up there and be like, well, if you
Get
want to
the
call the
ice yacht.
police, you call the police because I want somebody to hold the boom mic. Bitch, we are not done. Give me all the disrespect that you can get. Show dominance, show ownership, because otherwise, as we all know, other motherfuckers will have no problem ruining your shit. Think about
That's
what we do to rental cars. Think about what we do to rental car. We go hard in the rental car. Wait till I get you a bitch that you want to act all funny with. I go hard on her. I scrape the fucking sides of the doors and every fucking thing. Do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Dominate that. Dominate it. Own it. Whatever the
wait
fuck
a
it
minute.
takes, you do
Wait a
that shit
minute.
because
80 proof.
it's
You
not
did
for
not
you.
just refer to somebody else's bitch as a rental car.
You fucking right. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hey
you
yo.
already got the insurance. I'm not paying the extra for the insurance. You're gonna go back in there, have to explain all these whelps, have to explain all these bruises, have to explain why you got a limp. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
just yeah.
you,
I just think you should be able to freaking listen. You dish it out, you should be able to take it. Get that man a whip, chains, handcuffs, and a butt plug. Wow, a butt
I
plug?
like the fact. Look, come to the game ready to play. You came. Don't come to the court with your shorts and no ball. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Lace them up.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Queen, we listen, smut these niggas out. That's smut
There you
them
go.
out. And whoever, to the anonymous person that sent in that request for us to talk about that, I think you're well on the way, my love. I think if he has a problem with it, then find another one. I hear that
That's
there's a
exactly
race
right.
out here that aren't taking advantage of the multiple women, and he might be the one for you. Go hard, sis. Go hard, okay? And he's complaining.
Or become a rental car. Become a rental car. Well, you need to motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, get abused for for the same cost. Do what the fuck you got to
I mean, if
do?
you think about it, though, that is, I mean, even though I don't always agree with which your metaphors, I think that may have some type of value because you treat your car a certain way, like the car that you pay for, the car that you put, just like you treat it a certain way. I'm not saying that you trash a rental car, but you're like, it's not really mine. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like even the gas you put in it, you're like, you might put premium gas in your car because you're like, I need it to run the certain way. I need it to be. You're gonna make sure you put just enough gas. What did they say it was at? It was at that. If they say it was a quarter tank, you're gonna do a quarter tank. You're not just gonna fill it up. You know what I mean? Go hard.
Right.
Go hard. Matter of fact, the next time you want to smut them out, rent a car and smut them out in the fucking car. That's what I think. Go hard.
Hey, there is a park and
The
ride near
ideas
you.
and thoughts of Stiletto Cash Smith
Somebody
are
said
not
something.
those of Cocktail and Convo. Like I'm just playing.
Right.
There
Somebody
is
said, T, she's so
right.
right. Your
Right.
birthday. You're
Right.
right. I am 40
Right.
ish and it is my birthday, and I'm going to speak the truth. Okay. And I'm going to speak
There's a
even
park
more.
and ride near you. Make it happen. There's a park and rides closer than you think.
True shit. Make it happen. And listen, this Friday, Stiletto Experience is my birthday edition. It's going down. I have so many surprises, so many gifts of performances, so many just, oh my goodness, so much going on. I need you guys to be there. Make sure that you get your tickets, stiletto40ish.eventbrite.com. The link is all over my page. It's all over everything. Make sure that you hit it up or hit me up directly, however you need to do that. Somebody said, I like parking rides. Really?
There
Um,
we go.
we about the cars slash women. There are 3 year
Oh,
lease. Ooh,
the
what was
3 year
going
lease of the promise rings.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know. I'm just saying. 3 year
Who
lease
got
to
whips and
promise ring.
chains?
Oh, thank you
Three
so
year
much.
3 year lease is a promise ring.
3 year leases are right. 3 year leases could be the promise ring. You're absolutely right. A promise ring is like a lease. See, this is why a lot of things go hand in hand. You know what I mean? And people don't want to, they don't want to look at it that way. They don't want to look at, relationships or being with people like renting cars and owning a car or renting a house and having a mortgage or, dogs as far as training and being obedient and being submissive and all that good stuff and how you can't let a dog lay on you. Don't let the dog lay on your feet. They're showing you dominance. We just talked about that. We're mammals. We are animals at heart. We're whatever you want to call it. We're civilized goddamn animals. And we probably need to live up to that. I just want to know one quick question. Beyonce said that when she's feeling nervous, like really nervous about a performance or talking or appearance and things like that, she makes love to Jay-Z, and that eases all of her worries. That eases her mind. I'm here to ask you guys: does sex ease your nerves? In some sense of the way.
I
I've
mean,
heard
it's
people
kind of a
having stress.
decompressant. So it's depending on your body and stuff, it can relax you, it can or like ease your mind because it
Oh,
takes you through a positive euphoric feeling and
mm,
you're normally in that state. It's
oh,
like everything seems a little lighter or a little easier or a little better. So
right. You
I
better
can see
use that
that.
degree, girl. You better use that degree. Says she said
You
euphoric.
stupid.
Hey,
Euphoric.
hey,
And
can
then
I
you
call
also got to
shenanigans?
think, okay, Jay Z's probably not Beyonce's only, but it's probably like a I can count on my hand.
I can count on my nut that
So,
he's gonna get the job done. Like, you know what I'm saying?
so
Like,
hello.
there's those
So
people that you can count on, whether they're your husband, wife, whatever, where you like fucking with you, I'm gonna get from good to
I'm gonna
great.
get it
Right?
right.
I'm gonna get where I gotta go.
Wait a minute,
Thank
wait a
you,
minute. Can I
Simon.
can I call shenanigans? Can I call
What?
shenanigans?
What you calling shenanigans for?
Because am I the only one who thinks that if I fuck any billionaire, my mind is gonna be at ease? I mean, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm
But
saying? Do
see,
you know how much
you
at
got
ease
money, so
my
that
mind
don't
would be? You know what I'm saying? If I
nah
was
because
fucking
if they
Oprah.
ain't
Like, we
spending
can
that
talk
money on
about
you,
any right. We can
you
talk
could be
about
with a
anybody
billionaire and they
though.
not really give you money like that. I mean, they might do
Oh,
little
my
things here
bad.
and there.
Sorry. Well, I for those of us who haven't touched that star, I was speaking for those who still looking to reach it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Because
just
I'm
saying
just
that
simply saying.
you may not be a celebrity, but it may be the person that I
I
can't
said
imagine.
I said I would be at ease sleeping with a billionaire. That's the only I was gonna be saying. Like
Oh,
nothing would ease my mind better than sleeping
but
with
if
a
you were
billionaire.
She
nervous,
said sex.
80
She ain't
proof,
say
right?
it had to
Right,
be a billionaire, sir.
right.
I
80
just
proof.
call
If you are
shenanigans on her.
nervous,
That's all.
if
Oh
you're
Lord.
nervous and you about to go on stage, do you think that the nerves will go away? But this is just a regular person by having sex before you go up there. Do you think that would ease your nerves?
We should say good
So
sex.
let me if I'm
Because
about
just
to get
having
if I'm
sex.
about to go if I'm about to go on stage and you're going to offer me sex and that's the reason that's going to work, yes, that will ease my mind. Yes, that's exactly what I need
I
to
hate
go on
you.
stage in
I
order for it to
totally
make
hate
this
you.
work because
You know what?
I
This is the wrong
I
point.
listen to me. Listen, whatever it is. Listen to me. Sometimes I need sex to help me digest this food. Sometimes I need sex to make sure I get my Uber. Sometimes I need sex to make sure I get my groceries.
No, I'm
So
not doing this.
I,
I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you. Somebody says a promise ring is a participation trophy. Yeah, I hate you for that, but I love that answer. I
Hey,
swear.
Simon.
I love it. Yes, it's the chemicals that you release that relax you. I just can't think me having sex. I mean, I'm just thinking how nervous I get every single time I touch the mic, every single time I get on the stage. And I can't see sex is not gonna make that better. I'm probably not even gonna be able to focus on the proper what's going on here because I'm so concerned about what's about to go in there. I'm not good at differentiating
Yeah,
at
because you're slutting niggas out. This ain't the I love you sex. That's a different feeling. Your level of aggression in the bedroom is not
right.
going to help
No,
you on
because
stage.
you know what, Queen, you might be right because a little head, like before I go on stage, I might put that in my rider. Like, look, I need cantaloupe, I need Swedish fish, and I need good head. Like, boom, boom,
Hello.
boom. That's what I need. Or I ain't coming to your city. That's what I'm thinking. Damn, what kind of sex y'all having? Shit. Yes, I'm just saying. Look at
I
this.
know you're not talking Simon,
Oh, something about Mary.
the kingpin over there.
Right.
Lord
Simon,
Jesus.
I know. Listen,
Simon be wild out.
I
And
just
I
don't know.
look with the whole, and I'm just talking about his thought process. So if
Mhm.
somebody can think certain things,
Right.
they're what
You
they
can do
do is on another
right.
level.
That's what I heard that you think it and it can be a thing. That's why I'm telling you.
Endless, imaginary is your best friend.
So then,
Imagination.
so if
2022,
that's the
smoke 'em
case,
out.
if that's the
Oh,
case,
we already know
then
about you,
yes.
80 proof. Lord Jesus,
Yeah.
we have to throw
80
holy
proof.
water on some
80
of your
proof
thoughts.
people still have you snowballing down the hill, bro, from last week. We still got lemon juice in the eyes while choking, or I'm sorry, while coughing. Okay. Lady Proof, and we have cold lasagna.
Cold
Okay. You
lasagna.
guys
Yo,
don't
yeah.
understand that cold 80 Proof
Don't
says doing
threaten
it
him
on
with a
your
good
period.
time.
Doing it on your period is called hitting that cold lasagna.
Lasagna.
I mean,
Yo,
we've all been there. We've all been there. It's okay.
I hate
You know
you.
what I'm saying?
I can't. Man, listen. Oh my gosh, we've had such a good time this evening. We about to get up off here. I don't know. I can't take y'all no more. And I'm still working off of last night. Big up to Kimmy and Rick and everybody that came out to IB's last
Woo!
night to celebrate my B day in a special way.
Yeah.
Great time. Make sure you support that establishment. Yeah, this Friday. Make sure that you mhm. Yeah,
Be
yeah, the
there
girl.
or be
Be there.
square.
That is the move. Pull up. Pull up to my birthday celebration. I ran a lighter too. Yo, I'm just saying, pull up, pull up, pull up to the Stiletto Experience. It's my birthday edition. We're gonna have an extravaganza. It's gonna be awesome, amazing. Get your tickets right now. VIP is sold out, but general admission is still available. It's still gonna be a fire time, no matter where you're sitting in the building. Lots of special guests, lots of surprises coming up. So make sure you get your tickets, stiletto 40-ish. Um, .eventbrite.com. I've been drinking, but make sure you can also hit me up any time and get that information as well, or get special group rates or tickets and things like that while supplies last, because it's going super fast and it will sell out. Follow me on social media, Stiletto Funny, and here, Stiletto Cash Smith. Do not follow comedian Stiletto business page because somebody hacked it and it's
Oh
not
man.
right now. So if you know anybody that's on the page, get off of it. Um, yeah. Queen, tell them where they can find you, what they can do with you. I mean, I do with you. Are you smutting them out? I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Oh shit. Quaaludes
The
popping.
lady never tells.
Hey, that's true. Hey,
So my name right here, that's what it is on Instagram. Oh, that right there. Right there. Queen Ray 22. Sorry. No, Queen Ray 22, Instagram, RGF Entertainment, because I be taking photos sometimes.
hey.
Appreciate
Sometimes.
each and one of y'all guys out there in Cocktail Combo land, chopping it up with us, tipping tapping on your keys, and making this whole interactive podcast lit. Okay. And I'm sure I'm going to see all of you guys on Friday because we are
Yay.
going to have so much fun. Oh my
That's
goodness.
oh my goodness. Listen, we are going to have a blast, and Cocktail and Convo will definitely be in the building. And Queen Ray says she be taking a couple pictures. No, she is the camera queen. Okay, she takes and captures some of the most iconic and wonderful moments. So make sure you need her to do that for you. Um, 80 proof. Tell them where they can find you, what they can do to you, and how about that snowball lemon juice combo? Boom.
What you can do to me is not threaten me with a good time. Where you can find me is when I remember to go on there is at Don't Follow 80 Proof at Instagram. um, Shout out to everybody on the show. Queen Ray does do some bomb ass pictures. My mom has found lots of pictures that she will put on my obituary. She appreciates you for that.
I
So
cannot.
please, we appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Please come out this Friday. We will be in the building. I will be there. I will be drinking and having a great time. I expect you all to be doing the same thing. Shout out to the VIPs. I don't know if like we need a bigger VIP section. Like there's never
Right.
enough
Whole
VIPs.
place needs
Like
to be up.
y'all, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. Like you all like love Stiletto the way I do. And happy birthday to her. It figures her birthday would be the day before Women's Month. So I mean the day of Women's Month. So shout out to her as a strong black woman in the game. Only the biggest people get their fucking accounts hacked. Nobody hacks my account.
You make me sick, and I love it. I do. I'm like something's wrong with y'all, and I love the fact that something is wrong. And Mel, you're not. You listen. She does take good pictures. Somebody gonna use some pictures for the obituary. They gonna use some of your pictures that you took of me. I'm gonna be like,
I feel like this. My mom was like, baby, but I don't know what suit you gonna have on, but that obituary tell Queen.
right,
So you know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing. I don't have no headstone. I don't have no will, but my obituary is on lock, son.
right. I was gonna use my
I
driver's license,
can't.
but because of you, I have pictures to use. All right. So listen, until next
Y'all
Tuesday,
crazy.
we will see you when we celebrating Women's Month and support this woman right here going down this Friday, the Stiletto Experience, the Stiletto Show. You
Oh
already
yeah.
know years and years and years running of excellence, guaranteed laughter. Be in the building. Special guests coming from everywhere. Oh my goodness. And they're showing so much love. So I appreciate
Bananas.
everybody and showing love. And it said happy birthday to me on my pages and things like that. Thank you so much. Pisces, come out and party with your girl. Until then,
Leo's
until we meet
too.
again, bye. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.